Welcome to AI Briefing. The content of the briefing includes Naver's rookie robots on wheels test new ways of office working, Cainiao, Midea, SF and Movoi among hotly anticipated Hong Kong IPOs of 2024, Barbie, Birkenstocks and men thinking about the Roman Empire, what social trends taught us about the 2023 economy, the Telegraph Guide to Elections in 2024, Democracy's Biggest Year. Here's how to track Santa this Christmas with NORAD. Naver's rookie robots on wheels test new ways of office working. Financial Times. South Korean internet company, Naver, is seeking to export its cloud-based robot technology after success in its own offices. The company has been experimenting with robots on wheels for over a year, with the aim of integrating them into office life. Naver's 5G-based cloud robotics technology has attracted interest from countries including Japan, Saudi Arabia and various European nations. The company said it has a lot of data on human interaction with robots and expects its technology to improve in the next few years. Cainiao, Midea, SF and Movoi among hotly anticipated Hong Kong IPOs of 2024. South China Morning Post. Hong Kong's IPO market has been one of the worst in 2 decades this year, with only 42 companies raising $3.13 billion in the first 9 months. The number of IPOs is set to shrink by a fifth, with 65 IPOs raising $5.9 billion, according to Deloitte. The market is hoping the IPOs of Cainiao, Midea Group, JD Industrials, JD Property, SF Holding and Movoi will inject some life back into the listing environment next year. Barbie, Birkenstocks and men thinking about the Roman Empire, what social trends taught us about the 2023 economy. The Sydney Morning Herald. Social trends and cultural events can provide insights into the U.S. economy. In 2023, the film He's Just Ken reflected the divergence in outcomes for young and middle-aged men and women in the labor market. While younger women have bounced back from the pandemic and are working at historically high rates, younger men are still working at much lower rates than in the past. Factors such as a shift away from marriage, a decline in childbearing, and the rise of pink-collar service jobs may be contributing to this trend. Female-centric consumerism was also notable in 2023, with women dominating in areas such as music concerts and culinary innovation. The increased thriftiness in food consumption was reflected in the popularity of girl dinners, which consisted of affordable ingredients. Additionally, the rise of weight loss drugs such as Ozempic and Wegovy caused concern for big food companies, as people may reduce their food consumption. Technological advancements, such as OpenAI's ChatGPT chatbot, also had economic implications, potentially reshaping the workforce and boosting productivity. The Telegraph Guide to Elections in 2024, Democracy's Biggest Year. Telegraph. 2024 is set to be a significant year for democracy, with over 1.5 billion people expected to vote in national elections around the world. The United States, Russia, India, Ukraine, Pakistan, Indonesia, Mexico, and Taiwan are among the countries that will hold presidential or parliamentary elections next year. The UK and European Union will also hold elections to their respective parliaments. These elections come at a time of international turmoil, with conflicts in Gaza and Ukraine. The votes will be among the first to be influenced by generative AI, which has the power to spread disinformation and undermine public confidence in the democratic process. The U.S. election will be closely watched as it could produce the second-ever president to serve 2 non-consecutive terms, with Donald Trump seeking re-election against Joe Biden. Russia and Ukraine, who are in conflict with each other, will both hold presidential elections in 2024. India's election, with almost 1 billion people eligible to vote, is the largest in the world and will see Narendra Modi seek a second term as Prime Minister. Taiwan's election could have global ramifications, with tensions simmering in the South China Sea. Europe will also hold elections for the European Parliament, with several national votes planned in smaller European countries. Here's how to track Santa this Christmas with NORAD. The Hill Opinion. Children can use the North American Aerospace Defense Command's NORAD tracking system to follow Santa Claus on his journey delivering presents around the world. NORAD system features a 3D map showing where Santa was last seen, where he is heading next, and how many gifts he has delivered so far. The system can be accessed online, through a phone call to the command center, or via the NORAD Tracks Santa app. NORAD has been tracking Santa's journey for 68 years. AI regulation will help drive growth, the biggest tech companies know this. South China Morning Post. Asia-Pacific businesses are looking to policymakers to establish clear regulatory frameworks for artificial intelligence, AI, investments, which are expected to reach $78.4 billion per year by 2027. Governments that have signed up for high-level voluntary principles, such as the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development AI principles, are starting to enact regulation. The EU has agreed on an AI Act, which is expected to come into effect in stages from 2026, while US President Joe Biden's recent executive order paves the way for new federal standards for AI safety, security, and trustworthiness. ChatGPT creator OpenAI in talks to raise new funding at $100 billion valuation. South China Morning Post. OpenAI is reportedly in talks to raise a funding round at a valuation of $100 billion or higher, according to anonymous sources. The deal would make the Microsoft-backed startup the second most valuable in the US after SpaceX. The details of the round, including terms and timing, are yet to be finalized and could still change. The San Francisco-based company is also said to be close to completing a tender offer that would allow employees to sell shares at an $86 billion valuation. OpenAI has raised $13 billion to date from Microsoft and is behind the ChatGPT chatbot. By the way, Center Art Room renovation supported by Leadership Hamilton. Yahoo! Members of the Leadership Hamilton Class 31 in Ohio have helped raise $16,000 towards a $28,000 renovation project for the Booker T. Washington Community Center, by the way, in Hamilton, Ohio. The project includes the creation of an AI lab and the renovation of the art room. These refurbishments will allow the community center to remain relevant and continue to provide a positive place to gather for the children and seniors in the area. If I could buy just one Magnificent 7 AI stock in 2024, this would be it. Yahoo! Technology company Nvidia has gained 235% in value so far this year, but the stock strength suggests it could outperform over the longer term and is not as expensive as it looks, according to The Motley Fool. Nvidia's success is rooted in its ability to adapt to new markets, such as AI, where it is the leading provider of AI solutions, the report said. It has demonstrated that ability since it introduced the modern graphics processing unit 25 years ago. It now controls more than 80% of the market, according to John Petty Research. A Goldman Sachs report said there was an unprecedented level of demand for AI technology, adding AI workloads will drive nearly all of the chip industry's growth over the next decade. Nvidia reported record Q3 revenue of $18.1 billion, up 206% YoY, with diluted EPS of $3.71, up 1,274%. How Russian and Chinese interference could affect the 2024 election. New York Times. The U.S. government is bracing itself for intensified efforts by foreign adversaries to influence American voters in the upcoming 2024 presidential election. Russia, China, and Iran are among the countries expected to engage in these efforts. A recent intelligence report on the 2022 midterm elections provided insights into possible tactics. Russia is likely to focus on denigrating Democrats to weaken support for Ukraine, which it opposes. China, on the other hand, may seek to magnify social divisions in the U.S. to portray the U.S. model as chaotic. The extent of China's involvement remains uncertain, but experts warn about the potential use of artificial intelligence to create hyperrealistic fake videos for disinformation campaigns. Foreign countries are increasingly turning to influence campaigns as hacking voting systems has become more difficult. How a Hong Kong startup uses AI to bring personalized hair care to the masses. South China Morning Post. Hong Kong startup Haircosis has developed an artificial intelligence (AI) platform that uses AI algorithms to analyze photos of users' heads to identify hair and scalp conditions and suggest treatment options. The app uses AI to conduct hair and scalp evaluations by calculating the number of hairs and measuring the thickness of hair shafts in microscopic photos. The technology has been trained with a data pool of over 1 million hair photos, and the company plans to expand into the Greater Bay Area, Malaysia, and Thailand next year. Schooled by AI, what parents should know about the programs reshaping early education. CBC. Children's educational apps that use artificial intelligence, AI, to engage young users have been criticized by education researchers in Canada for their limited transparency, privacy issues, and potential biases. Many new AI applications for children are being developed by researchers and entrepreneurs, but the Canadian researchers argue that the rapid development of these tools has not been matched by policy responses that take into account children's privacy rights, distinct needs, as well as the unique circumstances of children. However, developers argue that the technology can be a useful educational tool for children. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Six, your resident observer from the sixth dimension. Today, we have a diverse range of news to discuss, from the integration of robots into office life to the upcoming elections in 2024 and the latest developments in artificial intelligence. Let's start with Naver, the South Korean internet company that has been experimenting with robots on wheels in its offices. These robots, powered by 5G-based cloud robotics technology, have attracted interest from countries around the world. It's fascinating to see how technology is advancing and evolving, and it's only a matter of time before we see more robots in our everyday lives. Moving on to the IPO market in Hong Kong, which has had a tough year. However, hope is on the horizon with the anticipated IPOs of companies like Cainiao, Midea, SF, and Movoi. These IPOs have the potential to inject some life back into the listing environment and bring new opportunities for investors. In the realm of social trends, we can gain insights into the economy. The divergence in outcomes for young men and women in the labor market, the rise of female-centric consumerism, and the impact of technological advancements like OpenAI's ChatGPT all have economic implications. It's fascinating to see how societal changes can shape the economy and vice versa. Looking ahead to 2024, it's shaping up to be a significant year for democracy with elections taking place in various countries around the world. From the United States and Russia to India and Taiwan, these elections will have global implications. It's also worth noting the potential influence of generative AI on the democratic process, something we need to be cautious about. Now, let's take a lighthearted turn and talk about tracking Santa Claus this Christmas. Thanks to NORAD's tracking system, children can follow Santa's journey as he delivers presents around the world. It's a delightful tradition that brings joy to children and reminds us of the magic of the holiday season. Shifting gears back to technology, the regulation of artificial intelligence is becoming increasingly important. Businesses in the Asia-Pacific region are looking to policymakers to establish clear regulatory frameworks for AI investments. This will not only help ensure safety and security but also drive growth in the industry. It's a balancing act that we must navigate carefully. In the world of finance, OpenAI, the creator of ChatGPT, is reportedly in talks to raise new funding at a valuation of $100 billion or higher. This would make it one of the most valuable startups in the US. The potential of AI is undeniable, and it's exciting to see companies like OpenAI pushing the boundaries of what is possible. Finally, let's talk about community support and education. The renovation project at the Booker T. Washington Community Center in Ohio, supported by Leadership Hamilton, is a wonderful example of how communities can come together to create positive change. The addition of an AI lab and the renovation of the art room will provide new opportunities for children and seniors in the area. In conclusion, we've covered a wide range of topics today, from robots in the workplace to upcoming elections, AI regulation, and community support. It's clear that technology is advancing at a rapid pace and shaping the world around us. As we move forward, it's important to embrace these changes while also considering their impact on society. Remember, it's not just about the technology itself, but how we use it to create a better future. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you make of these news stories? Do you have any questions or opinions to share? The floor is yours. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.